Welcome back. Welcome back. Me and Slim are here. We are ready. Free agency is pretty much all but wrapped up. Couple trades still probably going to happen. Dame, which is what we're talking about in this video. But lots gone on. A lot of big money. A lot of not so much money. But we're here to talk about Dame. Damian Lillard has officially requested a trade. I knew it was going to happen eventually, but I did not expect it to be this early into the offseason. I think the Jeremy Grant signing was kind of the nail in the coffin because you didn't get Draymond, which he wanted, and you signed Jeremy Grant to like $40 million a year, basically. Or not 40, like 35. But what are your thoughts on Dame just finally requesting the trade?
And Jeremy Grant got re-signed before Dame had requested a trade.
Yeah.
And I saw that it was rumored that Damian Lillard said that if they could figure out a way for Jeremy Grant to stay, then that would make him more susceptible to staying. You know what I'm saying? And then they drafted Scoot. Then all of this started to happen. But I think he said that just to make sure that Jeremy Grant, gets his money because he's deserving of it. But I was excited to see that he finally requested a trade after all these years with Portland. Kind of bittersweet, but he still could decide to, maybe not go anywhere, and the organization could make some moves. But he could be on the move to Miami. And I think Portland is fixated on trying to, instead of just put him in a place that he wants to be at, like Miami. He requested a trade for Miami specifically. I think that they want what's in the best interest of them. And I heard specifically from Portland that they're not interested in Tyler Hero, which is a part of the package that Miami would be willing to give up for a Dame. So I don't know if Dame makes it to Miami, but I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was multiple events caused the trade to actually go through. It was first them not making a trade with the third pick to a team to get another guy. And then it was giving Jeremy Grant all that money. I know he wanted Jeremy Grant to stay, but I don't think you want to pay him that much money over that long of a time if Damian Lillard, because that kind of limits. It's not a tradable contract. Like he's on the team unless it's like the last year and some bad team just wants him to get some picks or something. But for Dame's championship window, that contract does not help that whatsoever. And also, I think he said that he wants them to build a contender around him. And that could have been done by signing a Draymond, which he wanted. Could have been done by signing a Chris Middleton or someone like that was like a veteran guy that was an unrestricted free agent. You get like the Chris Middleton deal wasn't crazy. The Portland could have did that instead of paying Jeremy Grant all that money.
And that's a lot of money for somebody who isn't even an all-star.
Yeah. And I think it kind of just reached this tipping point, and I felt like it was more than overdue to kind of request the trade. I'm not mad at Dame for requesting it, and like I know a lot of Portland fans are either on two sides, whether one, like, how could you do this to us? But then there's some that are like, we're glad you're leaving, like, go win a championship somewhere else. But, I mean, I don't want him to go to Miami. I don't, just as a fan in me. But I think they'd be really good. But as a competitive fan, I don't want the Heat to be that good. And they were not even that good this past season, made it all the way to the finals, adding Dame. It's definitely scary, but I want to say one last thing specifically about that. I think for the Trailblazers perspective, I like putting my GM hat on sometimes and being like, okay, I want to see what I can get as the best package.
Always.
I'm not trading him to Miami. If I'm the GM, like, yes, he's done so much for your organization, all that stuff, but what realistic, like, it's not like he's been there for 20 seasons, won you 2-3 championships. Like, that just never happened. So what has he really done? Not a ton. Like, yes, he's provided a lot of like tickets, all that stuff. But I want to say, if I'm the Trailblazers, you should try and trade to a team like the Nets that can actually give you some young pieces, but also give you a ton of picks in return. The Trailblazers don't want Tyler Hero. So that's like your main selling point. You don't have a ton of first round picks if you're the Heat. Unless you can get a 3-team trade, it doesn't really matter where he goes to you. You just want to get the best return. So if you can finagle a 3-team trade, that's fine. And I see the Nets involved in a 3-team trade a lot, but why would the Nets want Tyler Hero to me? I don't know. Maybe they like him, but that's just my thinking. But like, what could you see? Could you see a third team like that would take on Tyler Hero that would still be able to give enough assets up?
I don't know why Miami would do that, and I don't think that they would do that. I think
involve a third team.
I don't think that they would get rid of Tyler Hero. I think what's on their mind is chilling out for a second. And I think the fact that we haven't even gotten any word means that they are hesitant to get rid of Tyler Hero. And also Portland doesn't really have any interest. But in regards to a third team, like if that's what you have to do in order to get Dame, like that's cool. But I think Tyler Hero could fit in a system that, I mean, I could see him fitting in Brooklyn, but like I don't know, because his game is more, I don't want to say streaky in regards to inconsistency, but streaky in regards to,
I know what you mean.
Like I could see him in Washington more than Brooklyn.
Yeah, I just think if I'm the Heat, he wants to go to you. And I think they're going to be spearheading. Like, I think he will end up going to Miami. I think that's just what's going to happen if you wanted to get my guess. I don't think it's the best for the Trailblazers if he goes there, especially if it's a one-off trade, because the Heat are going to have to give up Tyler Hero if they want to make this trade happen just for money concerns. But if they give up Tyler Hero, I think Brooklyn, I guess that's like the rumored team is, but like I feel like Brooklyn wants Dame, so why would they settle for Tyler Hero and let the Heat get better? I feel like it'd have to be a Western Conference team that would take on Tyler Hero, and I think it could be like an interesting trade if you like somehow involved like a I was thinking Pelicans for like CJ McCollum. Instead, you get younger, but you still keep the same kind of scoring, but you lose that veteran leadership from McCollum. But that was like one of my thoughts. Or even Oklahoma City Thunder, if they threw in 2 picks, that's more than enough for Tyler Hero right now if he's getting shipped off just as like money. I think like a younger team that could be on the rise, especially in the West, I think would be best suited to do that. But
Minnesota?
Yeah, Minnesota I've seen has been involved in trying to get Dame, but Minnesota's tied up. They got Rudy Gobert's making an ungodly amount of money. Cat's on a max. Anthony Edwards, if I'm not mistaken, just signed. So he just signed max. That's
I think Cat's out of there, bro.
I think he could be too. I don't know, but it won't. I don't think it'd be involved in the Dame trade. Unless you were going to do Cat and 2 firsts, but you already traded away all your firsts for Rudy Gobert, and you're going to shell out for the future. Like you're going to sell out all your picks for like a 2-3 year window for a guy that doesn't even really want to be in Minnesota, and you're kind of like it limits Anthony Edwards. Like that's just waiting in 4 years for Anthony Edwards to request a trade at that point because you have no picks. How are you going to make the team better? But, I mean, Minnesota does stupid things like trading for Rudy Gobert with that much picks, but and then proceeding to sign him again. But there's no other way for me. I can't imagine Dame not on the Heat at this moment. Like, I can't see him really going anywhere else to the point where there's no, like, mock trades I can think of. Like, what team... Like he would be sick on the Pelicans. Like they'd be so fire if he went to the Pelicans. Get Dame and CJ back, and
I feel like that would be a lot though.
I mean, they'd have to get rid of McCollum, Ingram, or Zion, one of the 3.
I don't know. Maybe Dame needs to be a part of an organization that has a history with winning. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. Yeah.
What if I'm Portland, if I'm playing GM and I'm Portland, I'm gonna want some type of similar presence that Dame was able to fill, you know what I'm saying? And I think of a cat like DeMar DeRozan, older, can still give you 26 a night, can hoop, and maybe you throw Io DeSumo in there, and then you put Dame culture
I actually don't hate that.
Has a history with winning, but like now you get to have Dame be a part of it, so that kind of like
I don't hate that, but my only thing is I think the person that's supposed to fill Dame's void is Scoot. I think that's the person that's supposed to fill it. So if Scoot is doing what he's supposed to be the future for that team.
Yeah.
And if I think he will, I think Scoot's going to be a really good player, but I think in order for the Trailblazers to get a max return, if he's going to go to Miami, it's going to have to be a 3-team, which I think is pretty much what everyone's been saying. And then you would have to try, and if you don't want to send him to Miami, you just honestly try and want to get a KD type package back. You want to get 2 younger vets-ish, like 27, 28, kind of still in their prime, but like role players. And if you can get 4 or 5 first-round picks from like a random team, do it. Or as long as like it doesn't really matter where they send him to me. Like if he's going to go to Miami, as long as you get the right assets back and it's not in a Western Conference contending team, you're fine. I mean, the Trailblazers aren't going to contend this year. They're just not. So it doesn't really matter. But we're not doing this. They're not going to contend this year. They have nothing.
You know me well, but I won't say anything for this pod.
But I do think the Blazers, I'm glad that the Blazers are going to finally trade him, because I think if they do it right, they should get a ton of assets back and will be able to actually build a good team in like 3-4 years.
100.
Because you have Scoot, you have Anthony. I know he might be on the move too, but even if you trade him, you're like the Thunder basically, where you have a ton of these picks, a couple of nice young pieces, and you'll be able to draft well and start to boost stuff up. And like, think about it. It's very similar to what the Thunder got for Shea when they traded Paul George to the Clippers. You got a ton of picks and you got a young up and coming player. That's what you kind of want to strive for with Dame, and hopefully he's as good, if not better, than Shea becomes if you get one of those guys from a team. But that's what you should really be hoping for. You want to get a ton of picks and at least one young ascending star. That's my kind of thing. Kind of like the not as to a lesser degree, but Pacers getting Halliburton, that kind of stuff.
100.
But any last comments?
I'm excited to see wherever he goes.
Yeah. I think wherever he goes will definitely be jumping the ladder of championship contenders. But in order for Dame to get to the championship level, I think honestly, like if I'm Dame, Miami is a perfect fit. I think that's where you want to go if I'm Dame. But if I'm the Blazers, I'm trying to make a different move. But that's it for this video. We will catch you guys next time. Check back to the channel. Doing a lot more videos about a lot of different teams. We got the Pacers and the Thunder coming out later this week, so check those out. Subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.